Hi guys, how are you? So today, as you can see, I have my breakfast ready. I have bread. This is common bread with peanut butter. It's laced very well. I can't wait to have it. I'm so hungry because it's way past 11, way past my breakfast time. And I have 2 eggs, a banana, and of course I'm Kenyan, so I'm having tea. I'm also going to talk to you about whether you should be having breakfast or whether you should be skipping breakfast, as people are actually propagating on social media. But before we get to our conversation, let's kindly first understand what breakfast is. So breakfast is that meal that you take after a prolonged period of fasting, ideally more than 8 hours, 8 to 12 hours. The first meal that you will have, even if you had your first meal in the morning at 6 and then you stay like 8 to 9 hours, that meal will be breaking your fast. So it's not ideally because of the time, but of course the time is ideal for most of us because we are asleep at night. Now let's talk about whether you should be having breakfast. And I'll give you an example of myself. So today is Monday. Mondays are usually my slow days, so I have nothing much planned for today apart from indoor meetings and consultations here and there. So you need to book a consultation with me. So yesterday was Sunday. Sundays are one of my busiest days. Demanding physically, emotionally, mentally. So I usually ensure that I'm taking up enough nutrients to take care of that, to avoid my body feeling the impact. Let's address the first concern. What happens in your body in the morning? Most people wake up between 6 to 8 a.m. If you have school going children, you're going to talk about the effects and the dangers of waking up babies at 5 a.m. Some parents wake up at 5, others 5:30, so they can have their babies prepared and they can have them picked up by 6:30 or even 6. Crazy if you ask me. With the break of dawn, and it's basically between 6 to 8 a.m. Yeah, 6 to 8 a.m. your body is still not ready to receive energy or carbohydrate loaded foods. You are kind of in a state of insulin resistance. The melatonin is fading away, leaving room for cortisol and adrenaline to keep you active and up and alert all throughout the day. So this is the best time for you to have our herbs. You can take in wheatgrass, hibiscus, you can take in green tea. And I always tell my clients that the first thing that you should do when you wake up is not rush to have tea, because in Kenya we have tea for breakfast. The first thing that you should actually do is take your water. Your body is naturally dehydrated, so you need to hydrate first. So wake up, take a glass of warm water, then you can squeeze in some lemon, add in that antioxidant to actually help and support your livers and your kidneys for toxin elimination. Then you go take a dump, come in, take another glass of water, then you start preparing for breakfast. You can do your skips if you're doing skips, like I'm currently doing 1000 skips daily before you have your breakfast, or you can even prepare your baby to school as you also wait for time to go a bit. At around 7:30 to 8 a.m. ghrelin, that is the hunger hormone, starts being released. Now, for majority of you who are used to having breakfast at 8, you will be so hungry at 8 a.m. But for me, usually have my breakfast at 10. That's something I have actually normalized. So my hunger really sets in at 10:30. Like right now it's 11:30 and I'm quite hungry, and we say that is not a good food hygiene. We don't need to let our bodies to be really hungry. But you see, the type of meal again I'm having, forgive me, actually eat with my hands. I have eggs, they're clean. There's cholera, so they're very clean. I have bread. Of course I could have chosen a better source of carbohydrate, but there was no time, and this was in the house from Saturday, so we're not throwing food. And then it has peanut butter that is homemade and a banana. for potassium, for magnesium, for fiber, for energy. And of course, I know all about the nutrient interactions. But in my defense, I cannot wake up without tea, so you just have to excuse me. Now, we're still talking about best practices for breakfast and whether you should be having breakfast or not. After the ghrelin, if it pushes you to eat, now when your body gets enough, leptin comes in to tell your body to stop eating. Like mine has not yet come, so I'm still going to continue because I'm still hungry. But my baby's, she stopped at the first slice, the egg is done, and she left some banana. It's okay. She's outside playing. When she gets hungry, she'll come back and finish her breakfast before we can have lunch. We're not overloading with energy. We are not entertaining bad habits. So she has to play, she has to be active, and she has to finish her food. She knows that before she can ask for anything else. So the big questions, I actually wrote them down. Should you really skip breakfast? Well, the best time to have your breakfast is between 8 to 10. You can go up to 10:30, 11, that's still okay. The quality of the breakfast that you're having matters more than the quality. So having something like a protein-rich, fiber, energy, healthy fats combined is better than having like bread and tea or cereals and milk in the morning. There are some of us who actually put some fruits and maybe yogurt in their cereals, so that can work. But majority of us, they just take cereals, milk, and they're done. Or they give that to their babies and it's done. So this child, when she goes outside and play, she'll be hungry in the next few seconds. And even that mama that allows the baby to go and play after cereal is doing good. There's another one who will just load the baby with sugars and then put on the TV and they're done. Very bad. And that's why we're having a lot of issues with childhood obesity. And we're going to talk about that as well. So, whether you should have breakfast or not, it actually depends on your lifestyle and your metabolic health. If you are insulin resistant, or if you're struggling with pre-diabetes or obesity, or having PCOS, regular periods, you're having all these mood swings, all this hair loss, facial hair, all these signs and symptoms of hormonal imbalances, of course, delaying your breakfast to around 10 to 10:30 is ideal. In the morning at 6, between 6 to around 7:30, your body is still in a state of insulin resistance. It's not ready to actually receive carbohydrate or energy giving food. I usually wait until 10 a.m. because it's something that I have normalized. And over here, most of us, all of us don't have breakfast before 10. Even when schools are open, I'm actually forced to pack her breakfast to school so that she can have it when she's hungry. The second thing that will determine whether you're going to have breakfast or not is your hunger cues. How hungry are you in the morning? If you're like me, you will not even be hungry, you'll just be thirsty, because I drink a lot of water. As you can see, this is my bottle. This is like my third. It's still full. Just refilled it right now before I sat down. I've conditioned myself to drink water in the morning before I leave, so that I avoid that big bottle, because like it broke, the handle broke, and I don't want to buy another one. So I'm carrying these ones as I leave the house, and this is very tiny for me, so I make sure I'm drinking a lot of water, so that by the time I'm done with this, I can only buy one bottle and not two, because when I'm thirsty, I usually get a lot of uncomfortableness. Like my body really screams a lot when I'm thirsty, so I have to drink water to avoid dehydration. So your hunger cues will tell you whether you're supposed to eat or not. Remember, I said when you wake up in the morning, have your 2 glasses of water, have your warm water, and then you can do wheatgrass. I have it in stock, by the way. You can take a scoop, mix in your hot coffee or your hot black tea, and then you drink it. Afterwards, you take another 1 or 2 glasses, and then you can have your breakfast. This will make sure that you are not eating when you're supposed to be drinking water. I watched a video where the guy was saying that he has a lot of issues with only taking up 4 glasses. 1 liter of water is only 2 glasses by the 250 ml times 4. It's 4 glasses of water, 1 liter. So if you struggle with water intake, if you follow that routine that I have said, you will actually find it much easier to take water. Another thing that will determine whether you're having breakfast is the type and the quality of meal that you're having. I'm actually almost very full. I don't know who will eat this banana. As I said, a sugary cereal is not the best. Let's work with a well combined meal like what I've just had. And let's embrace best practices for breakfast. And this, according to me, include timing it right. You don't eat immediately you wake up because of the insulin resistant state. And then you need to make sure that you're prioritizing healthy protein and quality fats. This is very important to regulate insulin resistance, to regulate hormones like ghrelin, and they actually keep you full for longer, especially if you're trying to actually lose weight or manage hormonal issues like PCOS, insulin resistance, diabetes, etc. And when you're doing carbohydrates, please choose better. Do not be like me. Choose whole complex. You can do maize, guashe, you can do ndoma, you can even have ugali in the morning. What's the harm? And then you just have your tea. And then of course the other thing that I'm going to emphasize on is the importance of hydrating fast to actually help you with waste elimination. Taking a dump in the morning is very important for hormonal regulation, especially for women. And of course, if you're not hungry, don't force it. Have your water, do your thing, have your banana. Then you can go ahead and I have a meeting scheduled. Then you can go ahead and have your breakfast when you're actually hungry. So who benefits most from breakfast? As I've said, they are kids, because they are growing, they are active, and they are playing. And also teenagers and pregnant women. We all understand the hunger that comes with pregnancy and the cravings. And also when you're well fed or well fueled, you're less likely to experience cravings and all these unnecessary junks and snacking that comes with pregnancy. So also if you're physically active, you're an athlete, you're going to the gym, as I said, you need to make sure that you are fueling your body right to avoid collapsing and fainting. So as I said, who will benefit from skipping? If you're struggling with insulin resistance, if you're struggling with PCOS and any other metabolic disorder like high blood pressure, irregular blood sugars, and such. That is why I usually emphasize on the need for personalized, individualized care. I hope you have understood from the video that we are not all the same. Our exposures are not the same. Maybe I didn't sleep at night, so maybe I woke up at 4. So my body will start preparing for activity and intake earlier than someone who woke up at 7 or 8. Maybe I'm not used to having breakfast at 8. Maybe I'm struggling with weight. I want to lose weight. I want to sensitize my insulin. Of course, my goal will be different than someone who's maybe carrying pregnancy, someone who's trying to gain weight. Again, the family dynamics matter, but I have learned to maneuver around that by limiting or stopping this. I used to have this expectation that once we are in a family setup, you're supposed to have meals together. That is very ideal for emotional development for kids. So I really try as much as I can to do that with my baby. That is why her breakfast is there, but she disappeared after getting what she wanted. She drank her milk, finished it, egg halfway, banana halfway, bread I can see 2, but she will be back. So I try as much as I can to make us have that moment in the morning or even lunch or dinner. You don't need to eat. You can just be having a small meal, or you can even feed her, because you see, like her, she might need to eat like 3 times a day. Maybe me, I don't. I only need to eat like 2 times, which I do. I eat 2 times a day. But this is new. I was not like that. I was eating like 4 or 5 times a day. 30s is ghetto, because I realized, the weight is coming up. I need to tone it down. And because I don't want to really stretch it when it comes to exercising, but I'm really working on going to the gym, because I need to go to workouts. So thank you so much for watching. I'll just go ahead and finish this. I'm so full. My God. You need to listen to your hunger cues and to your body cues. When you're full, you stop. Like, I should just stop here because I'm almost joking. But as you have seen, My breakfast was very dense, it was very nutritious, and it will keep me at least for the next 6 or 7 hours. I'll be okay by then. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you stay subscribed. Let me know in the comment section some of the challenges that you have with breakfast, some of the challenges that you have with healthy living, and make sure that you stick around because next we're going to talk about obesity in children because it's a real issue. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.